Glad to have you with us in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin for what's going to be a dandy. Spec Racer Ford, 33 cars to go 13 laps, and I don't think we're going to have 1 liter. I think we'll have more like 6 or 7. I'm Jim Trado along with Dorsey Schrader, and that can be a conservative number here, Doors.
Yeah, 33 cars, but the first 12 are running within the same second of each other, so it shows you how competitive this class is. It is a spec class again, it's sports racer. You can see right there 1.9 liter Ford engines are all sealed by the SCCA. They all put out the same horsepower, same gearboxes in these cars, same weights in these cars, same tires, spec racers. I'll tell you what, you can lean on each other hard here. You can push each other, you can bump draft, you can side slam each other. The cars will take it.
And Richard Spicer, believe it or not, is not in the field today. It doesn't seem like the same Spec Racer Ford class because Spicer not only winning races but always in contention here at the Runoffs, and I'm sure he's watching with us on SpeedcastTV.com.
Well, when it came to wrecking these cars and making them safe, I was the test dummy. I was the very first one that wrote one of these things off.
Really?
And then I went ahead and did it a couple more times just to make sure it was right.
You wanted to back up the data is what you did.
Yeah, I did that.
Spec Racer Ford, a unique class here and a very popular class no matter where you find it across the country. In the 9 divisions of SCCA racing, you can find yourself in one of these cars for very inexpensive dollars. And for more on the story, before we go green on this one, let's check back in with the third member of our broadcast crew, John Bizignano. Biz, what you got for us?
Okay, here's the deal. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've been saying the same thing every year. You people out there in your big, comfortable chairs, in your couches, get off the couch. Get off the couch. Get out of the chair. Join the Sports Car Club of America. Here you are, Sports Racer Ford. You can do this. You can be one of these people. You can join the Sports Car Club of America. You can go to driver's schools. You can start out in regionals. You can go to nationals. You can win a national. These cars are, once you've made the investment in the car, to maintain them, to keep them going, it's hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars a race. Get off the couch. Get out of the chair and become an SCCA member and become an SCCA driver. Corner worker, pit control, timing, whatever it is. Get off the couch. Go racing. Sports Car Club of America.
This is
you
right.
know what we're talking about? We've been talking about it for 15 years. Do it. You'll love it.
This is absolutely right. This is the car that launched my pro career back in 1984, 85. I was the first pro champion. Actually won a great deal of money with this little race car and springboarded me on to bigger and better things. So I believe this class. I believed in it when they started it, and I do to this day.
And the biggest hurdle to overcome here in Spec Racer Ford goes by the name of Mike Miserandino. He's won the last 4 consecutive Spec Racer Ford National Championship. Miserandino in the number 11 machine. Last year only raced 1 race. It was this event. Made a pass in the last half a lap to steal away the victory. And Scott Redditch is still scratching his head on that one because he is not satisfied with that. And Scott Redditch is in this event as a contender, a candidate for the Super Suite.
Miserandino qualified 5th, not where he usually is, a little bit further up. These cars draft extremely well. They bump draft very well. And it's really good if you have a partner. I had 2. We always work as a 3-car train, and we pushed ourselves up to the lead, and we stayed as a tight group. We'll see who's working together today.
Similar to like Lance Armstrong in bicycle racing. You're saying that master plan was to keep the same jerseys in the same spot.
Absolutely. We would push ourselves. We would bump draft up these long straightaways and get in position, outrun the rest of the field, and then work it out toward the end of the race.
And how much has changed really, bodywork-wise, engine-wise, for one year?
Bodywork's identical. The only thing that's really changed is the engine gearbox. They ran out of the Renault. We used to use a 1.2-liter Renault, and when Renault got out of the racing part of this deal, the engines weren't available. Ford jumped into it with this 1.9-liter. Now it's the same thing. It's an identical car, just different engine powertrain.
And at one point in time, there was a Spec Racer class and the Spec Racer Ford class, so we find another national champion in the mix. Jim Marinangel had actually won the 1993 Spec Racer division. That's the same year that Spec Racer Ford began.
It was Sports Renault when Jimmy did it.
Oh, Sports Renault, okay.
And that's where they were 1.2-liter Renault engines, and when they ran out of those, it turned into Spec Racer Ford. Of course, acknowledge the badge that Ford had when they came in there. And it was Jack Roush who actually put this whole engine package together, did all the dyno testing and the sealing of these cars.
Maybe that's why you got your break, because he's like, okay, who's going to run this thing, test every element of it. You had a great career with Jack Roush and Trans Am.
Yeah, and Trans Am and IMSA and Winston Cup, too, for that matter. You know, Jack helped me out a long time in my career, but, you know, it was after I won this championship that I got my first pro ride with Dodge, and then Jack hired me away from Dodge. So I was a product of SCCA. I was the youngest driver ever allowed a license back in 1971, and I developed all the way up to its top format, which was Trans Am, and I won that championship in 1989. So you're right, I'm a product of the SCCA system. This particular class springboarded me to a pro career. Yeah, I mean, I totally, as Bizignano was saying, as John said, I totally believe in the SCCA. I believe in their message. I believe what they do. If you want to become a race car driver and people ask me how to do it, here's how you do it.
And 33 cars roll off. We saw that white number 11 roll through our frame here on our SpeedcastTV.com cameras. Love that angle, man. You really get a chance to see how cool these cars are. And talk about affordability. This car is very affordable. You can go racing really quick, really fast, and be competitive in these machines with the format they have in Spec Racer Ford. Let's take a look at the lineup of the 2010 SCCA National Championship Runoffs presented by Subway. Spec Racer Ford grid. Brian Schofield from Lakeland, Florida, the Southeast Division champion, will lead us to the green flag in the number 61 machine. Schofield had a great run last year. He led all but the last half a lap to run to the checkers, and he ended up in the third spot. We'll see what he does here today. Jeff Beck starts second. You want to talk about history and longevity in the SCCA. Jeff Beck is in his 21st National Championship runoff appearance.
Ran against Jeff Beck in this class.
Yeah, that's
how long
awesome.
he's been here.
And he's still here.
Yeah, he plays good guitar. Sorry, different guy. Different guy.
You can say that because you've known him a long time. Starting in the second row, Dakota Donovan out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Keep an eye on Dakota. Great qualifying effort. And starting fourth, our super sweep candidate, Scott Reddick from Camden, Ohio. Scott Reddick of the sweep. He won the Great Lakes Division. He is also the National Points Champion. Won one of the selected 9 races this season as a designee. And if you win this race here today, Scott Reddick will join the very short list of Super Sweet SCCA champions. Row number 3, the number 11, Mike Miserandino. That is the man. Might as well get Target sponsorship. This guy's got the Target on him. 4 straight championships in this event heading into today. Jason Barfield starts 6th in the number 23. He was 9th at the June Sprints in that J Motorsports Spec Racer Ford. Starting in row number 4, Jim Marinangel. And again, that 5 machine, he finished 10th here last year. He has a championship that was held in the Sports Renault days. Yep. James Gray starts 8th in number 77. The Central Division champion goes from the 8th spot. Row number 5, William Douglas in the 47 from Appleton, Wisconsin. And Jean-Luc Liberato starts 10th in the number 8 machine. As we go through the field here, we'll go quickly now because there's 33 cars. I'm thinking the first 5 laps to tell you all about them. The 49 of Carl Harris is in his 3rd runoff. Ralph Green will start outside of him in the 56 machine. Then we look down to the 7th row, number 78 is Scott Goolsby. He was 8th in 2003 in the runoffs. Lauren Scarpassi runs in her 2nd runoffs from the car number 41 from the 14th position. Then comes Craig Zapp and Tom Miserandino in row number 8. Row number 9, Kerry Bonner. 7 podiums in the Southwest Division this year out of Katy, Texas. We'll see how Kerry can advance here. And J.D. Veltzing starts outside of him in row number 9 in the 25 machine. Jeffrey Barrow out of Clover, South Carolina. And Wade White, Midwest Region champion out of Vail, Colorado, will start inside and outside of row number 10. Jeff Wisniewski and Timothy Gray in the 32 and 60 respectively start in row 11. John Annis of Tampa, Florida, and Paul Jankowskis in his first runoffs in the SOPAC division out of Camarillo, California, will start in the 24th spot in the number 86. Reed Johnson and Ken Tripko start in row number 7. Peter Jankowskis in his first runoffs in the Elite Autosport machine, prepared by Bo Martin and the boys in nearby northern Illinois.
Think we're related?
27th. I'm almost done. 28th, Lance Musler out of Crestwood, Kentucky. The Fly-By-Night Racing, love that. Fly-By-Night Racing out of the Milwaukee region. He'll start 29th, does David Shumish of Merrill, Wisconsin. Matthew Gray will start 30th. He from the Land O'Lakes region, Ryan Companies, U.S. Incorporated. Ian James back there in the number 33 machine. Roy Hillenberg will have to have 31 cars to pass. He'll start 32nd in the number 20 out of Friendswood, Texas. And Frederick Sarpassi, it will start 33rd in the number 80 machine out of Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
One car on pit lane, Jason Barfield, not taking the green flag today.
Slated to start 6th. That's a huge difference. You can see the helmet's off and it's on the wheel.
Yeah, he was a 6th-place qualifier, not going out. We don't know what the story is there, but it's a shame after a great qualifying run.
Finished 9th at the June Sprint, so obviously he was tuned up to run here for the runoffs. Now we'll have 32 cars to hopefully take a challenge and run for the gold here in the Spec Racer Ford class, the final of the 24 races we've had this weekend. The sun is out, the leaves are changing, temperature's getting a little bit warmer.
Fun cars to drive. I mean, they're very, very safe, very strong cars. You can push, shove on each other, and they will. Without a doubt, before this race is over, you'll see some bump drafting and side drafting. And
we saw it in the qualifying days, too. I mean, they weren't just practicing that. They were saying, how much speed can we get here? Because if I am in a 3-car draft, I'm going faster than enough time by myself.
Yeah, these cars in particular definitely are good at that. Those big envelope bodies with very limited horsepower, it really opens up a wall of air, and the cars behind get a big pull, big draft.
Brian Schofield, the number 61 out of Lakeland, Florida, again, last year leading with a half a lap to go, got tapped by Miserandino and had to settle for the bronze. He leads the field back to the green flag. Second in national points. Scott Reddick, we mentioned, qualified fourth. He's going for the super sweep. He won his Great Lakes division 6 out of 9 races. Man, this front of the field is stacked.
Absolutely stacked. It's always that way in this class.
And Miserandino, the man with the target on his back, is in the white car with the red top there in the number 11. He'll start in 5th, inside row number 3. The weaving is over. The racing about to begin. These guys waited all weekend for their chance to take to this 4-mile course at Road America.
It's going to be busy.
Up the hill, pace car is off. Schofield and Jeff Beck in his 21st runoffs, leading the field up the hill here to begin a 13-lap run to the championship.
Setting their own pace. They backed away from that pace car. Pace car's already off the racetrack. They're going to do it their own way.
And Scott Reddick trying to get as much heat in those tires as late as possible outside of row number 2 there. Left-hand side of the screen under the Bucyrus Bridge. Here they come. Beautiful start, man. This is postcard picture perfect on the 2x2 start here of the Spec Racer Ford.
Wish you wouldn't have said that.
We're underway. We'll see what happens in turn 1.
Jeff Beck didn't get any kind of a start.
They're 3 wide.
3 wide already. Beck dropped way back. I think he's going to lose 2 or 3 positions at least, if not more. If you get out of line, you're in big trouble because the line's very long.
Schofield leading now into turn number 1. Lots to be decided, however. 75 is Dakota Donovan. Donovan will take second into turn 1.
Everybody be really well advised to get single file right now, find a partner, and start working drafting.
Donovan finished 4th in the sprint in the June sprints earlier this year. Made the tow from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he's in second. Wow, this is crazy.
A lot of guys in here will be doing hand signals with each other. This saw it happen right there.
Okay.
Drivers will be doing hand signals with each other, saying, come on, line up behind me, get in the line behind me, come up, get closer to me, push me. There's a lot of going on here.
And these all 4 fingers, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes not.
All right, let's check it.
That's another message. See, here's your 3-car train.
Miserandino sitting 3rd here. The pole sitter back in 4th.
That's what you got to watch out for. 3 cars working together like that can pull away from these side-by-side racers.
So that's Jeff Beck who sat on the front row. Beck is back and 4th in that multicolored machine.
That's exactly what we did. We always had a 3-car train. It works really well.
And Miserandino part of that. Again, the 4-time defending champion. Miserandino sits 3rd in that white machine. Boy. Redditch with the 61. Brian Schofield in the 61 here. Led this race to the final lap into turn 5 and lost it and had to settle for bronze. He must have played that over in his mind many, many times. Dakota Donovan right in the mix here with Miserandino.
Experience is everything in this class. I mean, these guys have raced together around each other before. They'll do hand signals with each other. They'll run tight draft like that, like we see what's going on right up in front here.
We talk about experience. This is Donovan's first ever runoffs. You think he's a little bit nervous right now?
Hit the right spot.
Man, I'd be a ball of nerves right here running with these guys at the level they run, but that's what you do. You got to learn.
You got to run. You got to run close. You got to be right on top and right behind somebody.
Schofield, Donovan, then comes the 11 of Miserandino, then Jeff Beck.
You work this draft, it's not just a matter of just being behind the car in front of you. You have to be in line with them. If you took a string and you ran it from the headlight of the front car to the 3rd car, it's got to be straight. It's got to be all the way down the side. You don't want to be all flaring around on each other like that. It just slows the whole thing up.
They're getting the Dorsey Schrader message here as they go streaming through turn 14 for the first of 13 laps complete here up the hill. Be led by the pole sitter, Brian Schofield from Lakeland, Florida.
6 of them hooked up right now in the lead pack. And you drop out of that lead pack, you drop back a little bit and you get running by yourself. There's no way you'll run the same speed that these guys that are hooked up together are going to be able to run here.
Schofield setting the pace for now. Dakota Donovan tucked in there. Donovan out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Miserandino running 3rd out of Los Angeles, California. Jeff Beck right in the mix here. trying to break away now as these 6 cars try to gap the field.
Yeah, the late Ben Burrell was the first team owner that put together a team with more than 2 or 3 different cars that actually worked as a team. We started winning everything, and then finally the message came across to everybody else, hey, look what those guys are doing. And now you've got 2 groups working together.
Jim Marinangel is part of the first group, as is Scott Reddick, the Super Sweep hopeful. He's the last car in that lead train of 6. Down to the 5 again. Boy, they are really tight here.
So what you got to do, just don't try passing each other yet. Just pull away from the pack. You can get aggressive later. There's a lot of laps left in this race.
Working lap 2 now. Spec Racer Ford, the final event of the afternoon. A lot of racing before this. A lot of rubber down on the racetrack as it took rubber when the heat finally got up to temperature. Not a ton of rubber, though, because it's such a cold temps.
If you're in this lead pack, all you want to do is stay where you're at and do what they're doing. If you're in that pack that's behind them, you got to do the very same thing. You got to not race each other, really just get disciplined and try to run these guys down in front, which is going to be hard to do because they're all running really good together.
Mizrandino on the exit of 8 there, a little bit offline. And that's how that gap opened up between 2nd and 3rd that quickly. Schofield leading. Dakota Donovan. That red number 75 runs 2nd. Here's that 2nd pack, led by the number 8 of Liberato. Jean-Luc Liberato started at 10th.
Bad news in a 6 or 7 car pack like that is if you're on a 4th place car, you're not getting any air at all into your radiator. So every once in a while in a straightaway, you have to pop out about a half a nose width to get some air to cool that engine down. It's a cool day outside, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it definitely will be something as you got to watch your gauges here.
Moving into position there is the 8 of Liberato. Actually, Liberato just getting past now.
Yeah, offline, something gone wrong with that car. I don't know if he's got a flat or what. He's dropping back like crazy.
Another J Motorsports machine with hand in the air. Unfortunately for that effort, multiple cars, but not a multiple success story. Whoa! To the inside, I guess there's a battle and then some. There's 4, 5, 6 cars offline now, off turn 14.
I think 1 or 2 of those cars right there just had a mechanical issue and are trying to get back to the pits without causing any more trouble.
That was Ralph Green in the 56 out of Charleston, West Virginia. Another J Motorsports entry here as the top 6 remain. Single file through turn 1 now. Working lap 3. We remain Schofield, then Donovan, then Mizrandino in the white car. Then comes Jeff Beck on the multicolored machine. It had the blue and silver 5 of Jim Marinangel.
Haven't seen anybody pushing on anybody yet. One thing you had to worry about on these noses, if you push too hard, that little aluminum underpan will bend up and close off the radiator inlet. So you got to be pretty square on the back of the guy and be gentle.
Like you always were, I'm sure.
Well, you learn. You learn as you go along. If you hit too hard and you square off that nose, it's going to get you too hot.
Another thing to point out is if they're not totally lined up when they do that bump, it's going to cause some issues as well if you're not square.
Yeah, you got to be square so you don't turn the guy sideways. Even in a straight line, you can turn a guy sideways if you're not straight on the back of him. Plus, you want to be straight because, like same thing I said before, if you're out of line a little bit, it's slowing that back up. They're really sensitive to being right down, like I said, if you want to string from the headlight of the first car down the side of the cars, you want to be all in line, tucked perfectly in line.
And Mizrandino's really been the master of this. He's running 7 prior runoffs, and he's finished top 10 in each of them, winning the last 4 consecutively. Last year, a last lap pass, so staying in contention in the mix as Mizrandino in that white with the red stripe car is. He's eyeballing here. He's gauging where he can do his damage.
You look at the top 3, and they run a much tighter, cleaner pack than the 3 behind them. Even though the 3 behind them are keeping up, they're much closer together. They're running a lot closer in line with the front of each other than those guys behind them, and that's what's paying that dividend. That's why there's a gap between 3rd and 4th right there. Now you can go up right in here and just give it a little push, and it would help you out about 2-3 mile an hour.
The top 3 are trying to do that. You think that would really help the 4th place racer right now, Jeff Beck, to close that gap?
Yeah, I mean,
tap from behind.
Those little taps from behind really push the lead car up, which pulls you back in line again.
This might be a little bit premature as we're working lap 3 here, but if I'm Brian Schofield, I'm thinking, okay, when's it going to happen? It's not going to happen yet. I just need to run my line.
These guys are smart and they're used to racing each other. They'll just stay clean and tidy like this for half the race. Now, you're pushing hard. It's not like these guys aren't trying hard. They're trying very hard. There's no question. But, if one of them makes a mistake, gets sideways, then he's going to get past.
Whoa, we got some jostling going on through the cake up into 12 and up into the Billy Mitchell bend. So some dust flying and two-eyed racing.
Yeah, light becoming a factor right now, and it's going to be for these guys if they have clear shields too, because they're going to be driving right into the sun. Somebody off way wide there.
89 David Shumish back in the 21st position. We'll see how many places he's advanced now as their scoring will refresh at start finish.
That car got into the dirty part of the racetrack, and you saw it just take off. The car unable to turn, had massive understeer, and it was a result of just getting on the dirty part of the racetrack. As you said, this is the last race of the day, and the track's pretty dirty.
Top six remain unchanged, all within a second now. As you can see, they're right close together. They close that gap. Becca's closed the gap. Marion Angel runs with him. Then Scott Reddick again going for the super sweep. He's won his division, won the National Points Championship, won a key race within one of the 9 division races. And if he can pull it off here from 6th, which is very well possible.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anybody in that top pack. Now here, this is the way not to get it done. 2 or 3 or 4 there.
Whoa!
Big spin.
Boy, we put the camera on the 89, and then fortunately for David Shumich, he's making some camera time work here with that spin through the grass. We mentioned he was 21st last time by, had advanced to 20th, and another spin.
One.
That's Jeff Beck.
That's Beck out of the top 6.
Mr. Andino also tussling on top of your frame.
Now you got to wonder if he got help there. I don't know that he is, and I'm not saying that he did, but you know, if you get bumped in that corner, it's around you go.
So Mr. Andino muscling his way in a second now ahead of Dakota Donovan. It wasn't too early to bring up the idea of when it's going to happen. Just Schofield's cleaning the mess behind him.
No, and we're not saying that Jeff Beck got hit. I mean, he might or might not have. In any event, there's a spin that takes him out of this at the top 6.
And to clarify the mess, I'm just saying there's a whole lot of action behind our race leader here, Mizrandino and Dakota Armstrong and all those guys.
And that's why you want to do what these guys did. That's why you want to group up in a pair of 3 or 4 or 5 and pull away, because you don't want to be back in that big mess going on behind you. You can't control it when there's 20 cars.
And in terms of running laps and getting experience in these cars, Scott Reddick also won the Reborn Pro Spec Racer Ford Series this year. So in terms of putting together an awesome club season and racing in the pro category and winning that championship, man, what a great run he has. So as far as his strategy playing out, I wouldn't think he'd want to see that much going on in front of him at this point in the race.
The pro category, when I was in it, was such a great thing because these cars are not expensive to buy and operate. And when you get a paycheck at the end of the day for doing well, you know, it's you can actually make a profit. Or I made a very good profit driving these cars, and you can't say that about hardly any type of racing anywhere anymore.
And Schofield up at the point here. Dakota Donovan back in the 3rd position. Mizrandino runs 2nd in that white number 11. He again is the man that made contact with the Schofield machine last year at the runoffs on the last lap in turn 5. Mizrandino not close enough to do any challenging here, but again moves himself 1 spot ahead in position number 2 right now in that 11 machine.
The other part of the equation to making one of these cars fast is you have got to be smooth. You've got to really not slide the car. You know, you just have to do such a very tidy job and use all the racetrack. You know, you want to use every square inch to the grass all the way out to the curbs and don't scrub speed.
And that white car with the blue fenders is Scott Reddick. He's now moving into 4th. He got ahead of Marion Angel now. 5 cars breaking away. Jeff Beck was in this group and spun in turn 5. We don't know exactly what happened, but the 75 machine of Donovan has some damage on the left side skirt there.
The bad news is once you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
You're not going to run them back down again.
Beck did recover. He's currently running in a 10th position. Is Jeff Beck, who started this race up front.
You know, that's what I used to tell everybody. You know, just it doesn't make any difference where you are as long as you're in that lead pack. You could be 7th, you could be 10th. Don't get out of the lead pack. Because then you're going to get back in here and you're going to be big fighting for that position.
And again, turn 5's where the complexion changed. Oh, 2 bumps there. At least 2. And a little bit of wheel squeal. Reddick now leading Donovan through that corner. So the pass by Scott Reddick into medal contention here.
These are a blast to drive. I got to tell you, Jim, you could jump in one of these and you just have so much fun. And it doesn't make any difference where you're running. You could be running for 30th. You're going to be racing somebody, and it's probably going to be 6 somebody's just like this.
If I was driving one of these, you'd have to do what they do at the bowling alley with the kids, put those bumpers up on the sides. I would need that right at the racetrack edge. That would keep me in line.
It's a blast. I mean, there's so many cars out
looks
there.
Like a lot of fun.
There's everybody from very, very pro, experienced drivers in these cars to brand new guys who've never driven hardly anything. It might be their first year ever in racing. But it's a car, and it's an opportunity that you can showcase your talent.
And again, getting it right now, Brian Schofield's had a season where everything did go right. He won 5 out of 6 races to win the Southeast Division this year. Was a contention for the gold last year in the final lap. Wants to make sure that is indeed the case in 2010.
Ooh, I don't like squealing in that part of the racetrack. Here comes
Reddick trying to hold off Donovan's charge now. He's trying to stay, hey, I want to hang on to 3rd, kid. Stay with me, but stay behind me.
Mizrandino not having any luck at all catching up with Schofield. I mean, because of needs some help from behind as well. You definitely don't want Brian to get any more of a gap than what he's got right there. He's starting to get into the danger zone where you could fall out of the ability to be sucked up behind him.
This is the battle for 12th, and blue and yellow number 81 machine is Kerry Bonner. Ran 12 events this year, 7 times on the podium, but when it comes to the national level, it just shows again the depth of competition you face when you come to the season-ending SCCA National Championship runoffs.
You know, when I went into this class, I'd already been driving 17 years, you know, when this class was invented. So I had tons and tons of experience, but that's not the case all the way across the board, as we got a lot of side-by-side for second here.
So Donovan is going with Reddick, and they're both going past Mizrandino.
Oh, he's wide. He's gone off the outside. He's in the dirty area. He'll pop back on the racetrack.
I bet you wish they had that much runoff when you raced here.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know if that would have been good or not. We'd have used that, too, probably.
Donovan's, again, left side skirt. He got a little contact with Mizrandino a few laps ago. That's why that's kind of hanging on the side of it.
A little hip check right there. That's something these cars can do safely.
And again, the 81 is Bonner. That's the 12th position. Tom Mizrandino back there in the number 10 machine. He runs in 13th. So I'll take a break and we'll be right back with more on SpeedcastTV.com. Stay with us.
The 2010 SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Subway, is brought to you by Mazda, Black Magic Car Care Products, and Gumout.
Forget the rock. Let's roll. Follow your inner driver to the all-new 2011 Mazda 2. It's Zoom Zoom. Concentrated.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
And when we stepped away, Donovan was paired back there with Jim Marinangel and has closed in on that battle for third now. Second, third, fourth in line here. Reddick, Mizrandino, then Dakota, Donovan.
See, not much slip angle as they go through that carousel. They try to keep the cars as completely straight as possible. You just don't have the horsepower to recover from any kind of sliding around. That's time. Every time you see somebody hit a curb or step out of line a little bit, they'll be passed. And you're not going to get passed by one car. It's whoever's in that freight train coming with them.
And they have a nice little bulge here of about 3.5 seconds over the next pack in line, so they can decide amongst themselves who's going to get silver, who's going to get bronze, or better yet, who's going to be in line at the right time to catch up with the race leader. Now
that looked good. That second place group, the 3 cars, definitely made some ground on Schofield that time as they came down there really clean down in the brake zone for Canada Corner.
Schofield, the Southeast Division champion, has led from the drop of the green flag.
Now they got it working. I mean, they're nice and tight to each other, front to rear. They're not making pass attempts. And Schofield's going to be in trouble at the end of this straightaway, I think.
We shall see the gap close here. Those 3 lines running nose to tail now. And again, they had a lot of jostling in turn number 1, 2 laps ago and 4 laps ago to reshuffle the order here. This time it appears they may stay single file.
They should stay single file because it's working right now. They're starting to take the, oh, we've got a crash down here. Or is it just somebody spun
Just some more dust.
Well, you don't know what's in the dust. That's what's always scary
from the sun to shade. I mean, there's that runoff area, and then you got that.
Had me tricked.
If you're 2 or 3 wide right there, it's going to be exciting.
That was a little sloppy up there on the outside of turn 1.
Yep.
Yet they are catching Brian Schofield for sure.
It was plus 1 second. Now it's down to 0.89 seconds again. That was at start finish, and they're closing even more now.
Yep. And it's because they're not messing with each other. They've realized right now they're running out of laps, and they're going to have to be tidy, catch back up, and then go to war.
Yep, Schofield's last lap, 239.114, and Reddick leading that train, 238.5, so they caught up 0.6 on that one, or 0.6 faster, I should say.
They're coming, no doubt.
Down the hill, they can make up a little time by breaking a little bit later. Reddick in that number 17 machine.
I think those 2 got together right there.
Mizrandino and Dakota Donovan.
Donovan, I think, just misjudged that brake zone a little bit, got into Mizrandino. Yeah, I can see on the front of this car that he's got a little bit of a lip problem, as I used to call it. That didn't help their effort.
And Mizrandino last year just ran 1 event, the runoffs. This year he finished 3rd in the SOPAC division, so he got out and did some more club racing this year. All, I'm sure, in tuning mode for this here event.
See, they're pushing really hard right there. All the cars trying to get loose. They went all the way to the outside of the racetrack. Used all. There's that little lip I'm talking about on the beginning of Donovan's car. It's bent that little
The
spoiler
nose
up.
on the 75, and that could play big into Miserandino's chances here. He won't have his teamed up buddy behind him.
Two things about that. I mean, it can shut off the radiator entrance a little bit. Also, it causes a little bit of drag on the straightaway if you're not up underneath somebody. So now it's really important that you get behind and get tight.
They do have radio communication, but obviously they don't have spotters throughout the course. Probably just a crew chief asking the driver, that kind of thing, what may happen. They may have friends with radios like I saw when I walked out to watch H production. There are radios throughout the course. Just don't know who they're listening to or joining in the conversation with.
About halfway through the race now, this is when things start getting, we see who's got the pecking order, because now you can start racing a little bit. I mean, it's a 4-car battle for first through fourth, and there's a big gap back now.
Good look at the nose damage on that red number 75 machine as well, as we're working lap number 8. 8 will be in the books of the 13 lap Spec Racer Ford National Championship run here at the Runoffs.
That was the weak point of the bump draft on those things, that little underpan. We used to try to put some real heavy-duty bracing in there, but then I think SCCA caught onto that and took it all back away, and here we go.
Donovan looking to the inside now, trying to get around Miserandino going into turn number 1. We said the car with damage might not have the best handling package. Well, certainly handles on the straightaway.
As long as he's behind somebody, that dent on the nose won't do a thing.
And he pulls out ahead of Miserandino.
Scott Reddick's car always smokes the left rear tire when he goes through the outside of turn 1. I guess the body's rubbing at the back there. Good tight fit between the fender flare and the wheel. Oh, bumped off right there. Watch what happens with that. That's all it's going to take.
I think this is going to get exciting right here, right now in turn 5.
Just dropping a wheel like that when the other car doesn't is enough. I mean, Miserandino should have a run now.
Schofield has led each and every lap here. He's got that little bit of a gap back to a 3-car run down to turn number 5. A hard braking left-hand corner. Great passing opportunity. Armstrong looks to the inside. No, he stays even now, right behind.
They keep it tidy, which was
17
smart.
of Reddick, yep.
See that pop out of the line right there is not going to help that battle.
Up to 6.
I think it was defensive gesture as he didn't feel like he got out of turn 5 as well.
They roll through 7 here. I don't see any brake lights on any of those cars. They're rolling on the gas and just stabbing back on it when they get that thing through the corner.
Schofield doing a really good job up front, just running his race, keeping his car as tidy as possible. This is going to get frantic here. Look out, incoming.
Jeff Annis, the number 87 machine's taking over 12th spot away from Tom Miserandino in that white number 10. Miserandino losing 3 spots in turn 5. Nope, that's Miserandino running in the 10th spot. That white number 10, back in 12th.
Yeah, this is further back in the pack. Another group that's getting with it back there.
That's Kerry Bonner in that blue number 81. He's broken away from this pack here. The yellow 87 is Jeff Annis. The 10 is Tom Miserandino. The red number 41 machine is Lauren Scarpassi in her second.
Oh, third place car gets too loose.
Lauren's second Runoffs here, learning a ton every lap, every corner here.
See, this racing back here is a lot harder to try to control. You don't know what any of these guys is going to do. They're all just learning how to race these cars.
Purple 59 is Wade White out of Vail, Colorado. Midwest Division champion, well back in the field here. That purple car and frame there.
And you can see the difference how this pack looks as opposed to that lead pack. You know, the lead pack's very tidy. Everybody's in line. This pack, everybody's looking. Everybody's ducking and juking around. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen next. Neither do they.
That's the battle for 12th on back, and we are now once again focused on the leaders here. Lap number 8 in the books, working lap 9. Donovan and Miserandino, a little bit of a gap here between their noses and the tail of the 17 of Reddick. Reddick tucked in behind Schofield now.
Yeah, Reddick's exactly where he should be. That's a real good now. He's up in there tight, and that's what he needs to do, just run off some laps. The two guys behind, you see they're a little bit more sloppy. They were out further out. They were definitely not right nose to tail.
And Reddick finished second last year again on his search for a super sweep. Miserandino took the win. They both got by Schofield on the final lap after a tangle in turn 5.
Four laps to go. So I mean, this is when you need to start to get aggressive. As further back in the pack, they just heard me.
They're flaring out like they're a fighter jets in formation down the front stretch from Spec Racer Ford. The 10 is Miserandino. The 87 is Annis. The 41 is Scarpassi. Boy, Lawrence Scarpassi with a power move.
Kind of ask yourself, like, if I do get in there, where am I going to go with this? You got to have a spot to go to once you make an attempt on a pass. There's got to be an opportunity to slot in somewhere. Otherwise, you end up in a much bigger jam.
And the 11 of Mizrandino gets back to third.
Oh,
big slide by the 64. Matthew Gray started back in the 30th position, was running 18th.
That was exited turn 5, spun drivers left. Meanwhile, these are our lead guys again.
Rough break there. Boy, a great advancement by Gray from 30th to 18th and then spun through the carousel here.
Like I said, now the two guys running up front are breaking away from the two that are running third, fourth, because the third, fourth guys are being a little bit more sloppy with the car. They're trying to make advancements on each other, and these two right now are just hooked up.
Mizrandino back there in third again in quest of his 5th straight championship. Has been racing all race long with Dakota Donovan. Donovan might have the fastest car here, but he's not doing really, I think, what Mizrandino, if he could tell him what to do on the radio, he'd say, kid, line up behind me, let's go.
And look at the front two. Look exactly what I'm talking about. Look how tight and tidy they are. That's now why they are pulling away from that third place battle.
But Dakota Donovan really has been in contention. Look at that. Oh, boy.
I think this could be a mechanical issue. I'm not sure. I saw a lot of smoke up left side.
Left side for Donovan, and
we got
another car
all
spinning
over back there. And another.
That's Jeff Beck going around.
And I think there's oil out here. There's another. Yeah, we got a wet racetrack in this corner.
Beck was up to 9th, and boy, that's a
Tiger's got the
him.
oil flag on it. That's what that yellow and red flag is. It's debris and or fluid on the racetrack.
Wow.
So we've got 3 cars off right there.
The 8-ball. Jean-Luc Liberato of Alpharetta, Georgia. He was running in the 6th position. We also saw the 75 of Donovan spin off. He was right behind Mizrandino, so somehow the top 3 got through it, and Dakota Armstrong went sailing through the grass.
Oh, 2 more. The 8th has been joined now.
That's the purple 59 we'd like to talk about. Wade White had moved up into the 15th position.
They probably have had a coming together down there.
And maybe Donovan was the initial cause, because he's the first car that really had an issue in that corner.
Spinning race cars have a magnetic effect.
And Dakota's on pit road.
Oh, and there's the radiator. There it is right there. That's your fluid. Look up front, radiator.
Yep.
He punctured the radiator when he went off the racetrack, and when he came back on, that was the fluid that caused the spins down in Canada Corner right there.
So Dakota Donovan in the 75 machine.
It's not over
There's
yet.
Jeff Annis. There's your buddy. Sorry to say that Dorsey won't be sharing a nice conversation with him. He'll say, what happened?
That
what
looked like
could
a
have been?
turn 5 incident again. Now watch these guys, because this is, I'm not sure that they know yet what's going to go on when they get down there. There's a bunch of cars off in the gravel trap, but there's also fluid, radiator fluid.
These are your medal contenders right here. Brian Schofield has led a perfect race, perfect run. He's been able to hold lead. He's been able to get a gap now, late in the going here.
He has a good gap. But there's some trauma up ahead that these guys are going to have to work their way through.
And again, without communication, without full knowledge of the whole course, his crew is on pit road. They're not down in 11th.
That's where the corner workers are going to come through, though. These corner workers, when they get about a corner before that, is going to start putting out some warning flags. They're going to show a yellow, and they're going to show that debris flag or slick flag to these guys. So it's a heads up to them that up ahead we're going to have something to deal with. Let's see if they got any out here.
Through the carousel onto the Suzuki Bridge, now through the kink here. And just ahead is where we had those issues a lap ago. Coming through now, Canada Corner.
Corner workers,
waving yellow now. That really means slow down. We've got something we're trying to attend to here. And indeed, they're trying to get the 59 of White out of harm's way with that Gale.
Yeah, the Gale machine's going to pick that car back out of there and send him on his way.
Here we go. We're down to the final 2 laps up the hill now. We're working lap 11.
I think Brian Schofield's got enough of a gap now that he is safe for the win. Second place is not safe whatsoever.
And anything can happen. We'll see if Reddick and Mizrandino decide to stay closed up in single file and close the gap on the race leader again.
And they're not amongst themselves tight enough to do much good either. What could play into this is lap traffic up ahead of these guys as they complete this next couple laps.
Well, he certainly drafted well up the front stretch to close in on the leader. Again, the waving yellow to get the Gale. And, Wade White's car back underway now.
There it is. It is back underway. He's making his way back onto the racetrack and stays out of harm's way, stays off the race line.
That could be Jeff Beck as well, and unfortunately for him, actually it's not Jeff Beck. I was mistaken. There's 33 cars out there, and I thought Jeff Beck was in the middle of it. He's actually in the middle of a race for 4th.
Through everyone.
He spun back to 10th, and he's made a nice charge.
That's a big charge.
Yeah. Jim Marinangel runs 4th, Jeff Beck 5th.
this up the front straightaway.
Carl Harris is 6th.
It's going to get exciting here with the last 2 laps to go with this many cars that close.
Definitely a great run. Enjoyable racing with these guys, too.
Oh, yeah.
As far as passing racers and racing and trusting those around you, Lawrence Scarpaci in the number 41 machine here.
These are neat cars from the standpoint that they don't require a lot of maintenance. They're very reliable. You know, it's neat that when you run a race, and all you got to do is go wipe it off and put fuel in it and go do it again.
This is 10th through 18th right here.
That's from top.
Yeah.
That's from everybody.
Yeah.
Me and all my friends having fun on a Sunday afternoon.
Indeed, it must be a lot of fun. As you said, Dorsey, you spent a lot of time behind the wheel of one of these machines, and now it's a pro category, or continues to be, and rejuvenated as a pro category. And boy, I can't imagine getting paid to do this. It'd be a lot of fun.
It's great fun. I mean, these cars are a blast to drive, and because they are so competitive and so close, and you know, you really learn a lot of racing right here. This is how you learn racecraft.
J.R. Fetzing right there in the 11th position, right behind that all-red machine of Scarpaci.
That's an angry little group right there, especially the back end of it.
And there's the patriotic red, white, and blue, the number 24 machine of Lance Musler out of Crestwood, Kentucky, in the fly-by-night racing.
Oh, with 1 lap to go, this could still get interesting. They've taken some of Brian Schofield's lead away.
Yeah, they have.
2-car draft is faster than that single car out front.
This time up the hill, they'll receive the signal, 1 to go. The boiling point at 212 degrees. We'll get to about 240 here. Final lap to do it. Through 14 up the hill.
And Mr. D Desperation is going to rear his ugly head here very shortly.
Mizrandino closing in on Scott Reddick. Both have a lot on the line. Mizrandino wants to continue his streak of 5 in a row.
I'm a guessing man. I'm going to think the guys in second place are going to beat each other up for that position.
Reddick ahead here in that white and blue 17. He's going for the super sweep. He's trying to cap off a wonderful season of racing in the SCCA.
Here's the lap traffic I said that might play into this on the final lap. There's no more than 1 car up ahead of that's going to have to be dealt with.
And that was the 8 of John Luke Liberato, who did spend some time off course and back on, but again, not at the pace of these leaders.
Yeah, their second place is not out of it yet. They can still make up town.
And Mizrandino closing now on that white and red number 11. If he makes his move in 5, he might have a shot. He may think he may have a shot at this leader here, but he's got to get around Reddick to do it.
Yeah, and I think that's what is going to happen. We're going to have a fight there for second place to take that position, and that's going to give Brian Schofield a little bit of advantage.
Schofield has the lead here, and here's the run for second. What does Reddick decide? To run outside, to run middle, to protect the inside? In 5, they'll go single file.
Not much time left to do something.
Mizrandino elects not to use that opportunity to make a move from 3rd to 2nd.
Wasn't quite really that tight with him to make it work.
On the limit here. 13 laps of racing. This is the final circuit to determine the Spec Racer 4 National Championship.
Well, we just had one blow up on the front straightaway as it came past us here.
And here ahead, we find that black number 8. There's the car that lost the engine. Paul Jankovskis.
Oh, lap traffic. Here we go.
Yep.
This is exactly what I thought was going to happen, and it's in the worst place on the racetrack. Going through the carousel, headed to the kink. There's 2 cars in front, and it might break the momentum that Schofield has.
And here we go. This is another battle for their 10th position. Boy, they're still racing hard. And they're not. I thought that was Lawrence Scarpaci. It's not. It's a car further back, and the leader's now in heavy traffic on the final lap.
Schofield cleared 1, but did not clear the second one of the lapped cars. So going into Canada, it's going to be an issue. Here it is.
Lap traffic equals less opportunities for the racers to make a pass for the lead. And that, again, is the 61.
Made it through cleanly.
Brian Schofield.
Seal the deal for the win anyway.
Coming through the final few corners, free of lap traffic. Meanwhile, Reddick and Mizrandino right there with him finally, with a lapper between them. Up the hill for the final time. Vindication is found by Brian Schofield, the Southeast Division champion, leading with a half a lap to go last year, wound up with the bronze. This year, it's all gold for Brian Schofield in Spec Racer Ford. Great run. Scott Reddick finishes 2nd. Mike Mizrandino 3rd. His 8th top 10 and 8 tries here at the Runoffs, and his not continuous streak of 5 in a row. He'll settle with 4, which is still an amazing run. Anytime you can win 1, much less 4 in a row, Mizrandino, a lot to be proud of here.
Bumped right there. Here comes the rest of the neighborhood fight.
They're still racing.
Absolutely still racing. And it's bumping. They're banging. They're pushing, shoving. It's not over. They're going to go off the road if they keep that up.
Look at that. You move one over, two go past you. Wow.
Side bumping. I told you you could do that, but it slows you up.
On the button for sure here. Up the hill for the final time. This is the tussle for 10th.
What he should have done is reached over in the cockpit and turned the other guy's engine off.
JD Fencing looks to be on. JD Fencing looks to be on his way to 10th. Lawrence Carpassi will have to settle for 11th. In 12th, it looks like it'll be Lance Mussler to take that spot at the finish line. Up to 13th, the 22 of Craig Zapp out of Los Angeles, California for MBI Racing. Good run for them. And that is the joyful celebration in turn 5 by the race winner and newly crowned gold medalist, Brian Schofield.
Top 3 did a really good job working together, just like I was talking about. You know, that's how you got to win one of these races. You have to have the discipline. You have to have the partnership of a couple other guys, and you run right to the end. And, you know, last couple laps, and you just work it out.
Schofield ran his race and got that distance ahead of second place. No issues, no worries. And he is now going to be forever written down as a national champion in the Sports Car Club of America. And we said it could get busy in a hurry here. Schofield stayed clean, even with lap traffic on the final circuit, to win the gold medal. And let's take a look at what happened here in the battle for 10th.
This is what I call assorted ugliness. Watch these two here. They're not sure which one wants to crash. He said, let's both crash. No, I don't want to crash. No, let's get passed by everybody behind us while we're doing this.
And they're at, what, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour there, or faster?
Every bit of that,
yeah.
And a good last-ditch effort here as well.
Yep, running through there. And again, 10th spot went to that green machine of JD Fencing, excuse me, out of Englewood, Ohio.
Stewards might have a little discussion with those drivers. That was a little less than your normal clean run up the hill.
Yeah, well, we told you there'd be a bunch of action here in Spec Racer Ford, and for Brian Schofield, it was a perfect drive for him.
This is Brian's version of a burnout. Since it really doesn't have enough power to do a burnout, we'll just settle with that.
Oh, man. Nonetheless, how much work goes into this, you have no idea. If you had to be paid by the hour, the hours the teams put in here, they'd be losing money more than they already are, because this is amateur racing. You get the medals, 50 cents an hour maybe, 100 bucks, you know, the hours alone. And these cars are trying to prove a point of you can't quantify the effort, the care, the love, the understanding
you get
to
more,
get to this point.
More racing per mile in this class than you do in a lot of classes. I mean, you're working hard and you're theorizing, you're using your mind, you know, and the guys around you trying to get an effort put together, you know, to win this thing at the end. And it's pretty complex because there's a lot of variables that are not of your doing.
And there's a lot of classes in SCCA. This one puts you in a pretty small box. Formula 500, those kind of things with snowmobile engines, you get real creative with what you want to do with them. Here it comes down to driver ability, team ability.
And not a mark on the car anywhere.
Boy, Brian Schofield ran a perfect drive today, a well-earned medal he'll get here in a few moments.
Top 3 did a really good job. I mean, those guys, they just went ahead and orchestrated everything I was talking about, showed the right way to run one of these strategy-wise, win one of these races.
And Brian Schofield quickly popped out of his race car.
And they'll be happy with each other.
Oh, yeah, he didn't want to wait. He wants to make sure that crew knows and appreciates how much he will cherish this moment forever.
The 2010 SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Subway, is brought to you by Mazda, Black Magic Car Care Products, and Gumout.
Forget the rock. Let's roll. Follow your inner driver to the all-new 2011 Mazda 2. It's Zoom Zoom. Concentrated.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
Brian Schofield now taking that flag. He was whipping it big time on pit road, saluting the racers he races with all year long in his division and throughout the country. The SCCA National Championship in Spec Racer Ford, the gold medal belongs to this man on his victory lap of honor. Saluting the fans, saluting the corner workers who've been here. Certainly helping out. An impeccable effort by all of the workers for SCCA. Really a collective effort coming together. 600 plus entries, 500 plus volunteers to put this all on, plus the masterminds of SCCA orchestrating when grid time is, what practice sessions go, and the great staff here at Road America really have put forth a wonderful stage to put on a national championship run.
No question. This was a phenomenal run right here. It did almost the impossible to think of, which is to lead flag to flag in a 33-car Spec Racer Ford field. You know, it's just a fantastic accomplishment. Did everything right today.